friends, this is Grace and I'm sharing with you a new layout using my March kit. Um, I'm starting off with the stencil, the American Crafts dotted stencil, and also this pink mist from Heidi Swapp. If you want to see my kit that I put together for this month, make sure that you click on the video that's entitled Bunny Hop. And that those tissue paper. I actually got that tip from Jenny Box, and so I want to thank her for that. I thought it was a really good technique to make sure that you don't see those harsh lines of the outside of the mist. And now I'm misting some flowers. I usually mist whatever item that I want to put color in this box, but because the box wasn't flat on the bottom, that I decided that I needed to mist my yellow paper on my surface instead of in that box. And then I just rolled my um, paper towel over those flowers just so I can scoop up all of the other excess mist that was on top of it. And then I heated up my background so that the mist will dry faster. And here I am putting together some 6x6 papers from KI Memories, and I am trying my hand on layering. So like I said in my video in the Bunny Hop, that's one of the things that I wanted to learn, was that to be able to layer papers, because I've seen a lot of people do that, and I thought that was really cool. Now that paper that I showed you is a handwritten note from my daughter. It says, "I love you very much, Mom." And I usually tuck like whatever memorabilia that I have in an envelope, and then I write the year, and so I would continually put all the things that I want to save in there. And that's one of the notes that she had given me in 2013. Now this picture is not actually 2013, it's 2012, but I thought it was close enough. And then I printed my journaling on vellum, and I have to say, if I were to do this layout again, I probably just print it off of a white cardstock, because as you can see in the final page, the vellum just doesn't seem to be doing the trick for me. And then I'm just adhering that vellum on the back of that Polaroid paper from L Studio. And then there was a little bit of the open space between the vellum and the Polaroid frame, and so I'm going to cover that up with some washi. And so this layout is going to be titled "I Like Totally Love You." And if you've seen my tip video, you know that I made that title block with markers that I had used on watercolor paper, and then I stamped a Heidi Swapp stamp on there. And then here I am, I'm just adding my clusters. I'm going to put 2 flowers on the top and then 1 flower on the bottom. And I'm so sorry that part of this video you're going to see just kind of 3/4 of my layout, because my tripod is right next to me when I'm working, and sometimes I bump into it and it causes my phone to move on the tripod. So I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize it until a little later when I stopped my video. So I'm just threading some twine on through the green buttons, American Crafts green buttons that I had picked for my stash. And I'm going to be putting 2 buttons, and then I'm going to put a brad on the center of one of them. This layout was actually part of a challenge that I'm going to be entering this with. I think it's Studio Challenges, and it was a recipe where I had to use yellow, the color yellow, a brad, vellum, sequins, misting, and stamping. I think that's all it was in the recipe. And so I've decided that as you've seen my previous process videos, I really like having a background, like a framed background under my my page. It could be a cardstock. In this case, it's going to be a pattern paper. And so I just trimmed my yellow paper to about 11.5 square. And then I'm going to, so I'm trimming it a quarter on all sides. And then I'm going to be adhering that on the pattern paper. So I cut the inside of the pattern paper so that I can use it for another page next time. And this layout really came together fast because of all my elements being right in front of me. Plus, here I am fixing the camera on my phone. And then I was using a challenge. I had a recipe, and so I was able to make this layout come fast. Now, this paper, I'm not putting it, as you can see, I'm not putting it close to my page just because this paper that my daughter had written the note to is not acid free, and so I make sure that I layer all the acid free items and make sure that it's not right under or on top of my picture, so that later on, like 20 years from now, it wouldn't affect the color of my picture because it's not acid free. So I'm just adhering everything that I wanted to incorporate in my page. I really love that title, and so I might have to do that again to make another one or a few, just so I have that on hand. And with my journaling, I just typed in that I kept this little memorabilia, and that I'm really grateful that I have a daughter who's very sweet and loving. And then I'm going to put the date with a stamp roller. Here I am. I'm going to be using this pink paisley stamping or stamp set, and I believe I'm going to stamp Thinking of You on this little piece of L Studio label. And that is all that I'm going to be doing with that. And then I'm going to be adhering that on the bottom right side of my layout. Oh, another thing in the recipe was that to use chipboard. And so because I have my title already stamped, I'm going to grab that gold thickers that's on my right side of my table, and I'm just going to put M on a round piece of paper. I think it's a cutout from my silhouette. Here, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do that. And then I think I'm going to stop here and then walk away for a little bit. And then I found this circle die cut that I had cut from a Nestabilities die cut. And then I want to cover the center of that circle, the scallop circle, with one of these shapes from the pattern paper. It is one of those embroidery hoops that have different patterns in the center, and so I'm just going to cut that out. And I also cut out the part that has the embroidery hoop on the top, and then I'm going to adhere that onto my little scallop circle, and then adhere my chipboard monogram with my daughter's name on there. Then I'm adhering the flowers with some glue dots adhering the buttons onto the flowers with some glue dots. And then I'm trying to figure out, I didn't want to cover the word Thinking of You, so I had to make sure that I moved that around to make sure that there's room for my flower and also for the word. And then I'm going to be adhering that flower with a brad with some pop-up adhesive, and then I just kind of curled the flower edges to go so that it'll be raised and have a little bit of dimension. And I also added that cute fox girl die cut on top because my little girl is foxy. And then I am just getting my date roller. I think this is a Studio Calico one, or maybe it's an Amy Tangerine. I can't remember. But I am going to stamp it, and then I'm realizing that when I stamp it without my foam, it doesn't really stamp all the way crisp and clear, and so I'm just gonna finish it off with some pen lines so that it's readable. And I think that's it. Oh, yes, I needed to add sequins to this page because that's part of the recipe, and so I decided to use this star sequence pack from Studio Calico, and I'm just going to be using a small silver star, some of the small silver stars. I can't talk today. And I'm using my silhouette tool because it has one side has a little sticky tool, and then so you just kind of press it on whatever little item that you have, and then it will stick to it just momentarily until you can put it on your page. So I do that to kind of move the stars away from the paper, and then put a little dot of Tombow liquid glue, and then press that star back onto where it is. And I kind of scattered the stars from top left all the way to bottom right. And I think that is my page. Here are some more details, and as always, thank you for watching, and please hit like if you found this layout to be inspiring, and also please subscribe for more layouts from me. I will see you when I see you. Bye.